Hi everyone, welcome to Wendy Speaks. I am your host D. First, let me just say thank you. Thank you for taking out time of your day, to be here. I know life is busy, you've got things to do, but somehow you've decided to spend some time listening to me talk today. And this means a lot to me, and I just want to say thank you. Wendy Speaks is a space for real conversations. We're going to be talking about adulthood, the parts that nobody really prepares you for. We'll be talking about work, relationship, personal growth, resilience, and how to actually build a life that makes sense instead of just reacting to whatever is happening around you. We're not going to be stating theories or trying to prove points. We are not here for motivation, even that does sound good, but it doesn't really work. We're here because life is real and it is hard, and you need someone to actually talk about it honestly. So, if you're still figuring things out, if you're still finding your footing, if you're still struggling, even if you're winning and you want to win better, then the space is for you. If you hear what resonates with you, do me a favor, like, share, follow, comment, and share it with someone that you love. Send it to that friend who needs to hear this. Post it in your group chats. You know, let's just grow together. Now let's dive into today's episode. Welcome back to Wendy Speaks. I saw something on Instagram the other day that just hit differently. It was about buying back your time, and I was like, yeah, that's it, and that's the actual move. Because here's what we do: um, we think that doing everything by ourselves is actually hustle. We think that if you're not personally washing your clothes, making your meals, cleaning your apartment, doing all the admin work yourself, then you're just lazy and you're not serious. But that mentality can lead to time wasting. And today, we're going to be talking about delegation and why outsourcing isn't failure, it's more like strategy. And how can you actually buy back your time so that you can focus on work that actually matters. All right, so I used to be that guy that that everything had to be done by me. I justify it by saying that nobody can do it the way I do it, or it's faster if I do it myself. But real talk, I was I was lucky lying to myself, because by the time I was done doing everything, I was left exhausted, frustrated, and I might not have gotten what really mattered, done. Recently, I got someone to do laundry, and look, I don't even have that much laundry to think about it, right? It's not like it's a massive load or something. But do you know how much time that freed up for me? It freed up about 2 to 3 hours on my weekends. You know, these hours, that time that I could use to work on something that actually matters, that time that I could actually use to watch a movie, relax, even get some rest, the time that I could use to sleep, even though honestly, as an adult, sleep is far from us these days. But the point is that, those hours were mine again. And I was like, why did I even spend years doing this? I could have just outsourced it a long time ago. But then I thought about this, and I realized something. When you're waking up at 6 a.m., leaving work at 7, getting to work at 8, work till 5, sit in traffic to probably 7 or 8 p.m., and then you come back home feeling exhausted. When are you actually supposed to do these things? And the irony is that most of these things sometimes must happen simultaneously. When are you going to actually be Superman? Like, are you supposed to be Superman? Me, I'm not. You might be, right? And that's fine. The whole do-it-yourself mentality, I can do everything. It works when you have the time, but most of us at this stage of adulthood, we are very exhausted and we are running on empty, if not just the grace of God. But you have to make a choice, do everything and be burnt out and tired, or you just try to delegate and have a life if you actually can. Now here's what I realized. I realized that the first thing that you have to do is is to understand that time is your actual currency. I've said this before in previous episodes, and I'm saying it again. Your time is what you spend, and it is finite. It is limited, and every hour you waste on something that someone else could do is an hour that you could have been, building something or doing something real, right? Also, if something doesn't require your personal touch, then maybe you shouldn't have your personal time. Think about it. Does your laundry care who washes it? Does your apartment get cleaner because you specifically cleaned it? Does your food taste better because you cooked it yourself? Maybe you. Right? But I think at this stage in our life, most of us, the point is just to eat. Right? Most of the stuff that we insist on doing ourselves doesn't really actually, require us. We're just doing it out of habit, out of pride, out of, some weird belief that doing everything ourselves equals being serious, or trying to keep ourselves relevant or something, or just keep ourselves busy, or distract ourselves from what is really happening in our lives. Well, in my case, I guess it's time to make more money so that I can create more employment, because I cannot do everything by myself, right? Also, delegation is an upgrade, it's not failure. When you get a dry cleaner to do your laundry, you might feel well about it at first. Well, I didn't. You ask yourself, is this laziness? Are you running away from responsibility? But the truth is that I just realized that I was making a business decision. I was trading money for time, and the time I bought was worth more than the money I spent. I guess that the whole point of making money is to buy back your time so that you can do, things that actually matter. I don't know, think about it. And here's the part that really gets me, when I think about it. Imagine when you get married, you and your partner both working 9 to 5. Both of you come home exhausted. One of you is washing clothes, the other is washing plates. Nobody's spending time together, nobody's resting. You guys are just, existing. Is that what you really want? Have you thought about it? Is that what you really want? Or do you want to be able to delegate stuff that doesn't matter so that you can actually spend time with the people, in your life, like your friends and family? Right, so how can we actually, start buying back our time? What can we do to start, taking steps to actually buy back our time? First, you have to identify what's eating your hours. Sit down and think. I think a whole lot of us, especially in the generation that we find ourselves in, run away from thinking. What are you doing every week that doesn't actually require you? Is it laundry? Is it cleaning, cooking, admin work, research, data entry? Whatever it is, write it down. Get specific about how many hours it takes. Then you can proceed to delegate what you can. Not everything, but what you can. Start small, pick one thing. Find a good laundry service, find someone to clean your apartment once or twice a week. Find a virtual assistant to handle the admin work. Find someone who can handle the things that are taking your time but not building your future. Then you proceed to create a system where you delegate and supervise. It's important, so that it doesn't just look like you are throwing the work at someone else and walking away. You're delegating with clarity, you're supervising, you're making sure that it's done right, and then you pass the knowledge so they can keep doing it, without you having to micromanage. That's more efficient delegation. Then you proceed to calculate what time is worth. If someone costs you 50k a month to save up 10 hours weekly, what are those 10 hours worth to you? If you can use them to close a deal, if you can use them to build a business, if you can use them to create content that makes money, then look at it from another perspective. Maybe it's not really a cost, right? It's more of an investment. Think about this and be honest about the math, right? And then finally, you have to protect the time that you are buying back. I guess this is where a whole lot of us, try to mess up. We delegate, we free up time, and then We just waste it. We scroll, we sleep, we watch TV, you know. The reason why we buy back time is for a reason, right? We need to use it for work that actually matters. Use it to build something, use it to rest properly, use it to spend time with friends and families. Don't just waste it, right? Time is the only currency that you cannot make more of. So when you have the chance to buy it back, might as well just do it. Stop overthinking delegation. Ask for assistance when you need. It's more of leveling up, right? Thank you for listening in today. I'll catch you on my next episode. Goodbye.